deliberating on this matter, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, and I think it has been expressed today, that an amendment cannot be just done to target a particular individual, because constitutional amendments go beyond a particular individual. In this case, it is going to go beyond the current president. The question, therefore, is that there were submissions that there were allegations also when I was doing consultation that this particular provision was smuggled in and was targeted at the former president, Dr. Apollo Milton Obote. Is that the case as a leader of government business? If it is the case, does that mean that this particular provision in the Constitution was covered?
News Updates is brought to you by
Paint and Win with Plascon. Color your world.
Nakawa Court releases 7 suspects in the Andrew Felix Kawesi murder case. The other 7 remanded until 23rd November. Also coming up, AMISOM forces launch a massive operation to flush out Al-Shabaab militants in the Lower Shabelle region. And Saudi Arabia's anti-corruption purge widens, with some of the country's most influential officials and entrepreneurs in detention.
Buy paint worth 100k, get a scratch card, and SMS the code to 6565 for a chance to win great prizes, including a trip for 2 to watch Manchester United play. Paint and Win with Plascon. Color your world.
Selena! Hello. Kitchen gets a 10 out of 10. Thank you. This also gets a 10. Should we see the toilet now? Sure. This gets just 1.
It is clean.
But not perfect.
Better than my cleaners? Impossible.
Challenge. Try the new Harpic 10X.
Compared to ordinary cleaners, Harpic stick formulation removes yellow stains 10 times better, giving you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow.
Now you also take
the Harpic 10X challenge.
Daily exposure to different environments leads to a buildup of germs, oil, and dirt. These can cause blemishes and uneven skin tone. You need new Dettol Even Tone. It removes 99.9% of germs and is formulated to remove excess oil and dirt, helping to reduce the appearance of blemishes, giving your family the confidence of healthy, even-toned skin. For an even better you, new Dettol Even Tone. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Beanzika Poultry International, leading supplier of pelleted broiler feed, layer mash, concentrated feeds, day-old broiler and layer chicks, pig feed and dairy meal.
For inquiries on all our products and branch information, please contact 0791 112227. Email info@beanzika.co.ug or visit www.beanzika.co.ug. Beanzika Poultry International. Happy chicks, happy life.
Scooby-Doo Daycare and Nursery School is a local school located in Natete, Chikajo along Seguku Natete Road. Children at Scooby-Doo are engaged in a number of hands-on activities, including extracurricular activities, to help mold them into independent and confident people. We use the national curriculum integrated with international methods of teaching and service delivery. Our classrooms are child-centered, focusing on enriching the child's experience. We have a 24/7 CCTV surveillance manned by professional staff to ensure 100% security to our children, and Wi-Fi to help our highly motivated staff to reach and add value to the system. We have opened up a night facility for busy parents who require quality care for their children. For more information, visit the school.
Has not gone and challenged either at parliamentary level or presidential level that has been free and fair. And if so, if we've not had one, whether there is any hope for this country that we shall ever have a transition in leadership through a free and fair election, and what measures the country needs to put in place to guard against a warmer life presidency. Lastly, Mr. Prime Minister, is it not because you fear to lose your job, and is it not because of the question of self-survival that you in particular are supporting this bill?
Honorable Nwagaba, I don't know if that was a fair question, but yeah. Okay, can we have the Honorable Prime Minister respond to these questions? Some of them are similar, so I'm sure he will put them together. Although I had one fear when Honorable Nwagaba asked whether we've had any free and fair election. I wonder whether all of us were rigged into power here. Yeah.
Madam Chairperson, I want to really thank colleagues for raising what I consider to be very serious issues in this discussion. If I may start with Ndumugoya's question on the Constitutional Review Commission. I must say the observations and criticisms made of delays by government are legitimate. It is true there has been undue delay in the constitution of the Constitutional Review Commission, mainly because of extensive consultations that have taken longer than government wanted. So efforts are being made to expedite that process so that the constitutional review can come in place as quickly as possible. On the question whether this whole effort of amendment of the constitution is not just a matter for Yoweri Museveni, the answer is no. In my view, the main purpose is to be more inclusive, to have more people, younger and older, who are now prohibited by the Constitution as it stands today from taking position as President of the Republic. Yoweri Museveni may be one of those who may benefit. Nwagaba, some years later, may benefit. And Seroko may be looking forward to benefiting from it. So anyway, anybody can benefit from it. It's not personal. Now, the next question from Duachia raised a number of issues, and particularly whether the issue of citizenship by birth is not discriminatory or not. I think it has not become a major issue of contention, and I think at the time the Constitution was written, people at that time wanted to be doubly sure, and I think that's why they put these limitations, if I may say so. I believe that as time goes on, there will be more debate on this matter, and the people have powers to eventually, if they want to change it. But for the moment, I respect the law as it is, clearly knowing that we are in a dynamic situation, and if the people want, they make the necessary adjustments.
Madam Chairperson, through you, the question is it that the country wants to hear from the Right Honourable Prime Minister and the committee as a whole, is that from the members' question, is that in your view discriminatory or not, or limitation?
Can I first find out from Honorable Achia? Was it...
Actually, mine was whether it is discriminatory, but particularly whether citizenship by birth is superior to other who forms by descent, by naturalization, by registration, and why lock citizens of this country because they happen to have other citizenship of other countries from offering themselves to serve in the several offices that are specified in Schedule 5 of that law.
So, Madam Chair, I think a citizen of Uganda is a citizen of Uganda, and we should respect citizens of Uganda as such. However, when it comes to the question of President of Uganda, I still hold the view that if you're a citizen of Uganda, you should really be a Ugandan only. I would not want to hear that President McMott is also a citizen.
Is that discriminatory or a limitation?
So, as to whether, to me, the details of discriminatory and limitation, the critical point, I would want the President of Uganda to be a Ugandan and not to belong to the citizenship of another country.
Whereas the difference between discrimination and limitation.
I think he's coming to it. That was already asked. Please allow him to answer in this order so that it flows here.
Madam Chairperson, my time is yet to come, but if a question can be answered now, I don't have to repeat it. So the very question might come. Let us hear a clear answer. Because when you look at the presentation of the Prime Minister, he's talking about the rights of all Ugandans. Do we have second-class citizens in this country? Because all citizens are citizens. And the question, therefore, isn't it discriminatory? In your view, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda Alupakusad, what was the, sorry. Is it that discriminatory to have a citizen of this country not allowed to stand for president by virtue of being a citizen not by birth?
Honorable Chair.
Let's have let the Benny can add on. Let's have a clear answer on this first.
Well, really, on this very matter, my view is that we respect all citizens of Uganda, and I have already said I will not expect somebody who is a Ugandan and also a member of another nationality to be the president of Uganda.
Why?
And the reason is, to me, it is a question of now loyalty. If you are, it is like somebody standing in two countries, and you pull him and make him president, you may not be sure.
So we are going to debate now the 75 on those lines, whether not as a right of any citizen, but whether it is correct for somebody above 75, or for somebody at the age of 120 to be president. That's what we shall be now debating, not as a right.
That one, the question of when it comes to the election of the president, even later on, by the way, as our country develops, you may find that somebody with double citizenship may stand, but people say, you, because you are dual citizen, we will not vote for you. But as time goes on, but let's not have too many speculations. For this particular case, I would say that citizens of Uganda are equal and they should be respected. There may be, for the moment, certain limitations, like the one we have talked about, but those are not permanent. They can be reviewed as the country develops and as we evolve our democracy.
Madam Chairperson,
do you think it is the same for all positions? Does he want chairperson? Does he have to be a citizen?
By the way, LC1 chairperson, the question of citizenship doesn't arise.
So maybe it's
I think that's
the
where
gravity
now
of the affairs.
proper
the
democracy.
Yeah.
Chair, further clarification on the question of citizenship.
Yes,
I think if I got Honorable Chair's question right, he quoted that the provision that bars dual citizenship from running for those positions is in an act of parliament. Yet, when you look at Article 102A, it says that when you're a citizen by birth, you can run for president, qualification, eligibility to run for presidency. So does the Citizenship and Control Act supersede the Constitution?
The answer is definitely not.
So that means the Act is also
Constitution is supreme law of the land. I'm sure that's what
so the
Ndugu Katuntu would tell us.
The Act is ultra vires the Constitution.
Through you, Chair.
I think members...
Through you, Chair. I think for us to be able to get this properly, I would suggest the Right Honourable Prime Minister to answer in a combination with the, if we are looking at discrimination versus limitation, you look at the whole article 102. A is about citizenship, B is about age, and C is about the qualifications of a member of parliament. But when you look at Article 82C, we have a category of people who are actually citizens by birth, like cultural or traditional leaders, but are not allowed to contest, to run for president, because they cannot also run for members of parliament.
In fact
so
they are more by birth than anyone in Uganda.
The question is, because they are citizens by birth, they have the qualifications of A level, but by virtue of them being traditional or cultural leaders, they are bad. The question is that discrimination or limitation? That would go back to the issue of Article 102B. Was that age bracket put there to discriminate or to limit to a certain category of people by that age group? I think it would be better to answer it as a whole, looking at the whole article. What is discriminatory? What is limitational? I thank you.
In my opinion, I think let's leave the Honourable Prime Minister to answer the questions as he sees fit. We cannot structure the answers for him, with all due respect.
Thank you, Chair.
Why are you protecting the witness?
The questions are ours. Members, I am not protecting the witness. No, members, please. It's not that I'm protecting the witness, but even then, if I see that he's being treated unfairly, he has the right to be protected.
Madam,
but
this is not a ceremony, madam. We are here to do work on behalf of the public.
I still have the floor. We asked questions.
Yeah, but you must not appear like you are part of the delegation of the Prime Minister.
He is answering them in the sequence that they were asked. Is there anything wrong with that?
You keep intervening.
To you, Madam
Yes.
Chairperson.
You see, we are not here.
So we are intervening and we are not allowing him to finish. We are not allowing him to finish. We respect him as a witness.
And the order I'm invoking is that you allow the witness to answer the questions put to him. We are talking about a serious matter, and he should not be allowed to address questions casually.
No one has asked him to answer them casually. You did not ask casually. You asked in a certain order.
Madam Chairperson, if you also want to answer questions, you will go and sit there and ask you questions. We are asking
would you have
Rugunda.
some respect for the chair, please?
We are now asking Dr. Rugunda, not you.
No. We must have order.
So you
here,
can take
honestly.
leave, you sit there and also answer
Honorable
questions.
Semuju, please allow the witness to continue answering questions.
I didn't realize I was a witness. I thought I'm a colleague who has come to discuss with you. Oh, this is serious.
Please go ahead to satisfy our questions.
Okay, so Chair,
we require you to take oath.
On the question raised by our Honorable Bichetero, what has changed? There was term limit, that one went, it was changed, and now age limit. Well, my opinion is that many things have changed, both in politics and in many other things. Views change, people's ages change, thinking change, and therefore it's not a surprise that after 20 or so years of the Constitution, there is consideration and reconsideration of some of these issues. So, I think in this particular case of age limit, in my view, I genuinely believe that we will be unfair to the country to say somebody should not stand for the presidency because he or she is 35 years or below. And it is also unfair to the country to say that the country is only limited to choose a president from this age bracket because the country may miss a very intelligent young man or woman who is below 35. And the country may also lose an intelligent, able, and old man or woman who is above 75. So we are increasing flexibility in selection of capable leadership for the country. Leadership that would be able to address the challenges faced by the country, by the people, by the region, and by the continent.
Clarification.
And the position.
Right, Honorable. Can I ask you a supplementary question in that regard? Do you therefore genuinely believe that there is no other leader besides the president right now that can genuinely take on after 35 years?
No, Honorable
after
Monica.
30 years in... No, please, Madam Chair, it's a supplementary question. You do not determine what you want to ask.
But when you repeat a question...
No, this is not a repetition. This is a clarification.
Madam Chairperson, we are not in a mood here that you determine for us which questions to ask.
I am not repeating questions.
Leave the witness.
But you are repeating questions.
Please leave the witness to answer which questions he deems.
Honorable, we are asked about that very same question.
No.
Honorable Chair,
in different words. No, please.
Honorable Chair, proceed.
For members.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. That was not my question. My question is being properly answered, and the rider that the honorable member is trying to put on my question is not part of my question.
And second, she did not say that through you, Madam Chair. And she only said, I have another question. No, supplementary.
She said the supplementary to my question.
So you keep quiet, since yours has been answered.
Then come up with another question. Don't bully us.
Mine is a supplementary question.
Yes.
Honorable members, let's allow the witness to answer as we reserve the other questions, because we are going to have another set of questions asked.
It is a question based on what the Prime Minister has responded. He's saying it would be unfair.
Keep it and then we ask afterwards.
No, but it's related to what he's submitting, so it will
never finish the process of his answer.
Madam Chair, since when did you begin behaving like this?
But we have questions asked. We have another set.
Please, Chair, some guidance.
Procedure.
Yes, Honorable Semujo.
Madam Chairperson, we are not carrying out a ceremony. That questions are asked. Honorable Gunda, my friend, casually gives answers that are not specifically answering questions, and you are looking forward to taking another round. The procedural point I am raising is whether this morning you came to chair a meeting or you came to defend the Honorable Rugunda, and therefore you want to give up the chair and join him the other side.
Honorable Semuju, we are also not before a drama group. It's not a theater. We are actually serious.
Doing very well as someone who's on stage.
No, you actually are doing very well. You may be a member of Baka Imbira, I don't know. However, what I wanted was that I give...
The only difference is that you are not, the audience is not enjoying.
What I had wanted is that, or what we had wanted as a committee, is that he makes a presentation, we make observations and ask questions, and those questions are being answered. Now, when we continue chipping in and asking extra questions, I don't think we're being fair. There's another set that's coming on. Let's allow him to finish what he has. And where we think he hasn't answered to fullness of what we expect, then we can get another set.
Honorable Chair, I wanted to give some guidance because I'm a member of the Rules Committee.
Yes, Honorable Mogoe.
Honorable Semuju Nganda, always listen to others.
It is only a chairperson who can guide a meeting. So if you have failed after Mugoe, I also want to guide the meeting.
I'm entitled also to guide. The information that I thought we could be looking at is whether, and that is a serious question in our rules, whether you can raise a supplementary when originally you did not raise that question over which you are raising a supplementary question.
You are new.
Our rules are very clear. You can only do so if originally you raised that question. That's under our rules of procedure.
Okay, honorable members, let us get together to allow the Prime Minister to continue. We shall continue with our questions after that. I respect that each one has questions to ask. Let's do that, please, after he has presented.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Honorable Seroka raised a number of issues. I've made some comments already on the Constitutional Review Commission, but he raised the issue of teams being dispatched by the National Resistance Movement organs, particularly the Central Executive Committee, to different parts of the country. The point is, this is factual and correct. And it is also true that I will be leading one of the teams. This is perfect in order. The Central Executive Committee is doing its normal political work, and we'll be having discussions with our party organs, district conferences of the movement, and also, where necessary, constituency conference of the movement on political issues. So that's what is happening.
Mr. Prime Minister, please, that was my question. The question is that the police clearly said that no other person other than a member of parliament, and that was their directive, shall go discussing this matter. And when you are dispatching your teams, it's clear you told...
In many places around the globe, people cross borders because of fear, oppression, and persecution. But in East Africa, we cross borders for the right reasons: business, careers and education, trade, and much more. No wonder we are one of the world's fastest growing regions, and the East African newspaper is championing the region's growth and integration. In East Africa, we know no borders to our potential. Connect to opportunity every week with the East African newspaper. The East African, understanding the region.
Good afternoon. This is NTV and this is NTV at 1. My name is Malcolm Simet. Let's have a quick look at the headlines this hour.
Nakawa Court releases 7 suspects in the Andrew Felix Kawesi murder case. The other 7 remanded until 23rd November. Also coming up, AMISOM forces launch a massive operation to flush out Al-Shabaab militants in the Lower Shabelle region. And Saudi Arabia's anti-corruption purge widens, with some of the country's most influential officials and entrepreneurs in detention.
Let's start off with Parliament, because the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee has resumed hearings on the Constitution Amendment Bill that proposes to lift the presidential age limit. This morning, the members have met the Prime Minister, Dr. Hakana Rugunda, also the leader of government business.
With other persons by the same police because they are anti-lifting of the age limit cap. Well, for me the question was as regards bias, or you rein in on the institution of police from trying to interfere with those that are anti. We are not saying that you do not have a right. We are saying you have a right as a political party to do whatever activities you want to do, but there should not be bias on one group versus the other as regards the consultations on Article 102B.